The baby was crying, not the fussy, tired kind of cry, but the raw, hungry, aching kind that echoed through the fluorescent, lit aisles of the small town grocery store. Sarah clutched her daughter tighter to her chest, whispering soft shushes, praying no one would notice the tremble in her voice, or the coins sweating in her palm. She had counted them 3 times, enough for a small pack of diapers. Nothing more, not even the jar of baby food she'd taken off the shelf and put back twice. Sarah took a deep breath and stepped up to the checkout line. The cashier gave her a tired glance, then scanned the diapers. $8.73. Sarah dropped the coins on the counter, quarters, dimes, pennies, each one carefully saved over the last 3 days. Her cheeks flushed. She knew she looked like she didn't belong here. Messy bun, faded hoodie, a baby in her arms, and the kind of exhausted hope that only comes from people who keep trying when everything's telling them to stop. Behind her, a man in a tailored coat shifted impatiently. He had the look of someone used to moving fast and getting what he wanted. His phone buzzed in his hand, but he didn't answer it. She pushed the coins forward. "This is all I have." The cashier hesitated, glanced at the man behind her, then started counting. When she came up 12 cents short, Sarah's heart dropped. "I can put one back," she said, motioning to the diapers, her voice cracking. "There's a smaller." But before she could finish, the man behind her did something that froze time. The unexpected act, he stepped forward, pulled out his black Amex, and slid it across the counter. "Put it on this," he said, without even looking up from his phone. Sarah blinked. "No, I can't." He looked at her, really looked at her now, and something shifted in his face. Maybe it was the way her arms clutched the baby, maybe the desperation in her eyes. Whatever it was, it hit him. "You can," he said quietly, then louder to the cashier, "add everything she needs, formula, wipes, whatever she's not asking for but should." The moment of realization, Sarah's lips trembled. "Why? Why are you doing this?" The man hesitated. Then he nodded toward the baby. "Because 20 years ago, that was me," he said, "crying in line with my mom while she counted pennies for a gallon of milk. Someone stepped in then, changed our lives. I never forgot it." There was a silence. Not awkward, reverent. The cashier's eyes welled up. The few people behind them in line stopped pretending not to listen. One of them stepped forward and placed a $1.20 bill beside the diapers. Another handed her a jar of baby food she'd seen Sarah eyeing earlier. The moment snowballed, not into charity but into shared humanity. Climax and transformation tears fell freely down Sarah's cheeks now, not just from gratitude but from the weight of being seen, really seen. She tried to thank the man, but he was already walking away. "Wait, what's your name?" she called out. He paused at the automatic doors. "Mark," a faint smile, "Mark Donovan." The doors opened, and just before he disappeared into the cold evening, he added, almost like an afterthought, "Look me up, Donovan and Pierce Holdings, if you ever need something more than diapers." Epilogue. 1 year later, Sarah walked into the glass tower of Donovan and Pierce with a portfolio in her hand and a toddler on her hip. She'd taken online classes, launched a tiny handmade baby goods business from her kitchen. And now she had a meeting, not a favor, a pitch. Mark met her at the elevator with the same quiet smile. "I told you," he said. "Someone once did it for me." She nodded, setting her daughter down. "Now it's my turn." Ending message. Sometimes the biggest changes start with the smallest coins. And sometimes the people who need help the most become the ones who help others the greatest. Because kindness, when passed on, doesn't just change lives. It creates legacies.